All right, this one should be good now. Because I'm wondering. I'm like, hold up, nobody's saying nothing. Well, nobody's typing nothing. All right, so let me get the link for this then. Get the link for the new one. Yeah, I don't know how I did that. I must have turned something off. Messing around with this thing. Come on. There we go. There's the chat. All right, cool. We good now. All right, let me get the link for this one. Hold up. All right. So I reshared it in the group. Now the chat is working. Yeah, I don't know what that was a minute ago. I must have accidentally turned something off. Didn't realize it. All right, so we good now. All right, so what's happening? There we go. What's up, Riley? Yeah, because I'm saying to myself, I'm like, wait, hold up. It's awfully quiet. Nobody's saying hi. Nobody's saying nothing. Yeah, I see Mickey was on. Everybody was on here. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, Mickey even messaged me. I appreciate that because I didn't even know. I didn't know what it was doing. All right, cool. So we good. All right, let me get back into this chart real quick. So let me just recap quickly from earlier. We have a MRMH on the chart. I think that was at 10:35 this morning. And then there were some setups that took place after that. I think one of them was another MRMH after that, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what happened. All right, so there you go. I see you chatting in there now. Okay, so we're good now there. Okay, I see it now. Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. All right. Malone, what up? Adam, what's up? Stacy, what's happening? Mick, what's good? Joshua, what's good? Okay, so the 805, 905, 1035 were all Mark's rules. So the 1035 was the last one that we were going off of. And from what I saw afterwards, it was still valid. At this point, damn, what the heck was that? Like, you just saw what the market just did? Like, come on, man. Thought the market was trying to get it together, and it decides to just take a dump. All right, well, whatever. We'll keep an eye on things. But excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. That's funny. He said somebody took the 240. Oh, goodness gracious. Jeez. Yeah, it's very possible. Somebody probably did. Somebody probably did. What'd you see from the time I left from Starbucks? I know, right? It's infectious. Next thing you know, you be going to sleep, looking at me yawning. You right about that one. So nothing from then until now, I guess. Just more the same. Market just doing what it's doing. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Jay Carly, so where we at? Where we at? I'm finally situated. All right. Tuned in, huh? Yeah, that's actually what I was trying to get at about from earlier. If the MRMH was still valid. At this point, sorry, Adam. At this point, I would probably reset. I would probably reset. I would want to see the market confirm everything again. Because I've seen, and the reason that I'm really saying that is I've seen multiple different types of things going on. Like when we were on earlier on Instagram, you remember the 15-second slaps, the 15-second pops and all of that? Didn't like that. I don't like when it starts to do that. As far as the heck is that noise? As far as if you're holding on to an existing MRMH, when you start seeing that stuff go on, because you can't determine at what point it's going to stop doing that, it's better to just wait for the full confirmation that it's not doing that anymore. Period. She said, if this ain't last May, I'll never speak about anything again ever. Remember, I was traumatized last May, so I know. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, and that's all really just a part of always letting the market come to us. You know, we don't have to try to force anything to happen, and If the market is deciding to do otherwise, even after we have seen the permission slip, it is what it is, and it's cool. Because the bottom line is that if the market is going to decide to give it up, then it will. This is actually interesting. The way that pricing was just now, that was a good sign. She must have been speaking like patois French. I was trying to figure out the language this lady was just speaking just now. I think it was French, or a dialect of French. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. Looks like pricing is more in sync. Yep. Many times that's a very dependable early indication that you're starting to see a shift. Is when pricing, get out of here. When pricing starts to get back in sync again. It's very interesting, the fact that we're able to even recognize what in sync and out of sync is, because a lot of this is really subjective when you don't know to look for certain things. You know what I mean? It's almost like I can only imagine someone that would come into this arena as far as trading on the NADEX platform. Let's use that as an example. You know, to come in this arena and not be informed as far as the market itself, you know, you're kind of forced to deal with everything from a perspective of a gamble. Like, I can see how someone could associate what goes on when you trade with gambling, and it's primarily because there's no skill involved. And you know, it's super important. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy because it literally is the difference between succeeding and failing. And the majority of people, because they lack information, they lack education and guidance, they're naturally going to default to whatever the negative association is for anything, right? Don't people do that? Oh, I heard that that's such and such and such and such. First thing they do is they're going to tell you what they heard, and what they heard is some negative shit, right? And it's so crazy that that's how people are. Like, that's the first thing that people will do. They're not going to talk about whatever the positive is out of it first. They're going to talk about the negative, and they're going to spend time talking about it. So you can tell someone that you do something successfully, right? And because of their preconceived notion, which came from ignorance and the lack of education and information in the first place, now they're going to tell you, oh, you need to be careful because that's like gambling. Like, what are you talking about? And they will insist and they will insist and insist. And it's so funny that people do that. It's like they try to persuade you to look at things from their limited perspective and to be negative along with them. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy that people do that. It's very interesting. Y'all take a look at this one right here. 3005. I know Jay Cardi Jay Carly, she don't like this level right here. This 3005, she don't like it. I'm curious to see what this does. This is interesting. Interesting. This binary right here gonna tell us a lot of information about the environment right now and the timing. There it is. There's that. Look, 14 seconds. See that? 14-second slap, baby. Woo! Come on, man. Come on. Let's go. I love this shit, man. I'm telling y'all, I love this. What's happening, Gary? What's up, Don? I like what Don is saying right there. He said everything we do in life is gambling. Whew. There's some people who work for a company for 30 years and get pink slipped. Don is already on the vibe. He comes on the vibe. Come on, man. Come on. I've experienced that firsthand as far as what happened to my father when I was very young. And I think I might have mentioned this before. My father was a glazier by trade. He used to work with glass. Yeah, that was definitely a haymaker. That was crazy. Hold on, let me see something. Adam said, funny, my mom tried to talk me out of trading and my wife was encouraging me. Ooh. Look at that. That right there is a good conversation to have. Because, all right. That right there, just what Adam just brought up. And I totally relate to that because as a man, you leave your mother and you go to your wife, right? It's like a transfer of power over you. And I don't mean power like in a, like an egotistical way. I'm talking about power as far as influence. When you're being raised as a young man, your mother plays probably the most important role in your life. The way that she uses her power to either nurture you or to discourage you from doing certain things has a lot to do with the way that she was raised. It has so much to do with the way that she was brought up in her environment growing up. Many times parents don't know necessarily what to do aside from what they are used to. They don't know how to be, how to think when it comes to certain things. So they're going to pass on, even if it is a level of, I'm not going to say ignorance, but just not knowing. You know what I'm saying? If it's a level of not knowing something, they'll pass that on. They don't mean to pass it on though. Like they're not necessarily doing it with bad intent. They're doing it in their mind. They're trying to protect you. Right? Yeah, that's a good word to use. Naive. The naivete is something that is in them because they have not been exposed to enough to be able to discern the way that you can discern. You know what I'm saying? It's just like your children are growing up in a different world than you're growing up in. Even for us. You know, like the same thing kind of applies to us. But I think it's a little different for us because our generation in particular, we've been exposed to both. You know what I mean? Like, all right, my mother will never, she understands the internet, but she don't understand the internet like I do. My kids understand the internet. I understand the internet just as good as they do. You see the difference? It's like I'm right in between because I've been exposed to the old school and I've been exposed to the new school, and I'm in the middle. So I got good information from both. And then I can discern based on my judgment much better than my mother and her generation was able to. And then I got the one up on my kids because they didn't grow up the way that I did. You see what I'm saying? So there's a level of experience and wisdom there that they don't have access to. But anyway, I forgot how I even started talking about that. What the hell was I talking about before that? Oh, your mother. So yeah, so your mother is trying to nurture you. A lot of times the fact that they are, naive and they're inexperienced when it comes to the new stuff. You know how your parents are. When your parents are old school, they stuck in their ways. That's another difference. I don't remain stuck in my ways. I'm versatile. And I think that has to do with the generation that we're from. It's different for us. My mother and her generation, they stubborn as hell. Like, and her mother, my grandmother, forget it. My grandmother was on a whole nother level of stubbornness. Whole nother level. Just on some no. Like, just no. Like, didn't want to hear nothing. My mother, a level of that, but at least she is, a little bit more flexible because she knows that our generation has been exposed to more. So she's willing to hear it out, and if she can understand it, then she'll go with it. If she don't understand it, she's like, nah, just forget it, never mind. My grandmother didn't even want to hear it. You see what I'm saying? My mother at least will listen and see if she can grasp and understand what's going on. So a lot of that has to do with the way that they even talk to you. So now when you meet, who's going to be your wife, when you leave your mother in that environment, here's your wife now. Your wife is like your peer, your equivalent. Well, not your equivalent. Don't you dare ever say that. Your wife, you can't tell your wife that she's the same as you. She, in her mind, she is the reason that you are here. She the reason why you doing what you do. Speaking of wife, that's my wife now hit me. That's funny. Spoke her right up. All right, she throwing me off. What the hell was I talking about? What I just said? Adam, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, but your wife. Okay, so now your wife, and right now I'm just talking from the perspective of a man. But it applies. It goes, both ways. This applies to women too with their husband. But as a man, your wife is who you now cling to, and you have to kind of leave the security and the comfort of the environment that your mother created for you. As much as you may not agree with your mom, she has a certain love and a certain connection for you that you just comfortable with. It's one of the reasons why you've always listened to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've always kind of listened to your mother versus your father. You hear your father out, but you're going to do what your mother say. It just is what it is. The same way when you shift the power to your wife, you're going to do what your wife says now. You'll be like, Mom, I'm sorry. I just know I can't do that. Well, why not? Well, I just don't want to do that. What you're really saying is, well, my wife doesn't want me to do that. And you know I'm speaking straight facts right there. Straight facts. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So that shift of power that you give to your wife now, it's like you relinquish the power that your mother had in your life as far as your decision making and the things that you decide to do. So it was very interesting when Adam brought up that point about, you know, his mother was saying, "Nah, don't do that," kind of discouraging, you know what I'm saying? But it's not really discouragement from her perspective. She's trying to be protective of you because that's something that she don't know about. It's kind of like, imagine the, like when you little, right? Y'all remember the boogeyman, right? Now the boogeyman is not real, but when you're a kid, the boogeyman is real as shit. Like you really believe there's a boogeyman in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going in the closet by yourself with the lights off. You're not. You think the boogeyman is in there. You think the boogeyman is under your bed. And this is all information that was passed to you. Somebody told you about the boogeyman and you believed it. And it was somebody that was close to you that told you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that type of scenario. So now, because you believe that the boogeyman exists, it's so real and amplified to you. Mind you, it don't exist, but you don't know that. So that's kind of the same thing that goes on, you know, like with your parents not knowing about things that you now know about. Because they don't know about it, they want to protect you from it. And that's where that type of dialogue will come from on their part. They're going to tell you, no, you shouldn't do that. You know, those things are gambles. You know, those things, you'll lose your money, you know, because of what their association is. And it was interesting that he brought that up because he said his wife is encouraging him to do it. But your wife is more from your, like y'all are cut from the cloth as far as the generation that you're from. You know what I mean? So that has a lot to do with it too. Exactly. Right. And that's what I was saying earlier about it's a certain kind of love that your mother and that you have for your mom. Your mother gonna love you no matter what. Wife would drop your ass. She'd be like, I'm tired of you. Tired of you. It's I don't even want, no, let me not talk about that because that's like a whole other hour just on that subject. I was gonna go somewhere, but I'm not gonna do that. Say that for another time. I was gonna touch on like divorce a little bit and why people split up. I'll say that for another one though. Don said it's all in the player and mastering the game. Jay Carly says, I mean, you wouldn't go back to the abuser. Then we was talking about, okay, we was talking about what the market was doing. Joshua said, add insult to injury, hops right back above the strike a second later. Yeah, just acting crazy. Oh, so 3005 is the abuser? That's funny. Yep. She said, you ain't hitting me no more. Gary said, my dad knows nothing about tech or the internet and doesn't want to know. He doesn't even have an answering machine. Oof. That's old school. Like my pop still had 8 tracks. So that just gives you an idea of like, you know, no. Don't talk to me about none of this other shit that you talking about. Like he ain't even want, I mean he did, but he ain't even really want to rock with CDs and DVDs and all of that type of stuff. He from the old school. He had a VCR when VCRs first came out. He went and got a VCR when they first came out. When they were like $300. Remember when VCRs was mad expensive? What's crazy is my kids don't even know what a VCR is. Like don't know what it is. Do they even know what a CD player is? I don't think they know what a CD player is. They know what a DVD player is. But they definitely don't know what a Walkman is. They don't know what cassette tapes are, VHS tapes are. They don't know what a VCR is. They don't know about phone with a cord. Like they don't know about the phone receiver with the cord, the spirally cord that goes and plugs into the phone. They don't know about that. That's crazy. It's crazy. They missing out on a lot. And that's why I was saying our generation is kind of like in the middle, because we've been exposed to all of that and we getting exposed to new shit. So it's different for us. Our kids won't really be exposed to nothing that we were, and our parents don't care about nothing new. So here we are, just getting the best of both worlds. Yep, very interesting. I get a kick out of like when my oldest son and my niece, they laugh. Well, no, they don't laugh anymore because they know that I'm nice. I wasn't always good on social media, but now they're like, you doing Instagram stories? I'm like, I'm doing everything that y'all doing. You want Snapchat too? I saw you on Snapchat. I'm like, I'm doing everything that y'all doing. So I'll be busting them in the head because, they have you on social media and stuff. And then they see me doing stuff on social media. So they just be bugged out. Like, they be just bugging out. Like, why does he know how to do all of this stuff? I'm like, it's called Google. Shit. Y'all are fun. They funny. Like, my kids are funny too because they'll add stuff. You know what I tell them? I be like, Google it. I mean, don't ask me anything. Google. You'll literally have a one-stop shop for all information ever. Anything you ever wanted to know, you literally can just type in the question and then information pops up. Videos, all type of stuff. I'm like, y'all realize what y'all have? We used to have to go to the library and actually search encyclopedias, search on the shelves and find the book. You'll type in a piece of information from the book and it pulls up. Like, come on, man. Yeah, I do tell you to Google it. Yep, Gary said you can't appreciate the new without experiencing the old. That's true. Yep, that is very true. Yeah, I do try to expose them to stuff, you know? Yep. Oh, snap, the icy lady's over here. Let me see what y'all think. Now the icy lady's right over there, right? At the corner. You think she would come over here? Like if I honked the horn, you think she would come over here and give me an icy? Like I'm gonna see if she gonna come to the door and I'm gonna tell her to give me an icy. That's some real lazy shit, right? Instead of just going over there. I wonder if she would come. I think she would come. I think she would come. Oh man. Sheesh. He got that cigarette cough. Oh, you hear him? Let me wait, let me see what y'all say. Jelani says she would. My man. Oh man. Adam said you need to quote that on Facebook. Oh snap! The icy ladies over here. That's funny. What this one just do just now? The 315. Did this set up at all? Like, was there anything there? Let me see if this lady come over here. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what's up, Jelani. She not looking. She got her back. There she come. You see, you have mango? Yes. No, just by itself. One mango. Only mango. Sí. Sí. Gracias. Jelani's the man. Adam said she better be looking if she want that dollar. Yeah, what she was doing, she was eating. Her back is to me, and she was over there just eating icy. So that's funny. That is funny. I'd have won that bet. Sí.
Spoon.
Yeah. Gracias. All right. Bam. He said it'd be funny if she wasn't selling anything. She just really liked ices. And look how nice she is. She went and got me a spoon. Thank you, mommy. All right. Oh, she's such a sweetheart. What y'all know about that? She got the good one too. It's like sherbet. Some of them be having like little ice chips in the icy. But I could tell just by looking at how the cart looks if they're gonna have good ices. When I saw, I was like, she got good ices. Her whole area on the cart is clean. It's the details. They're like, Mark, what the hell are you talking about, man? It's ices. Okay, so nothing on the last one. A little bit of speed kicking back in too. I see that. All right. Anybody playing Tribe Called Quest is old school. Yep, he old school. He got on. Ooh, he got on the Nike Cortez. You know that's old school. He got on the Cortez. Yeah, market will get there. It'll get there. It'll get there. Science is good, man. Don said, my dad kept it real. He told me Santa ain't real early. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Ooh, remember a beeper. What? Yes, I do. Remember, if you had a beeper, it was like you was like you just was official. If you had a beeper. That was like having a cell phone. That is hilarious. They called it because she had two beepers. Yeah, the Cortez is definitely OG status. My wife is mad at me because I still like them. I saw a pair. She was like, don't you dare. I was like, if you don't get out of here, I do what I want. Yeah, you heard that, right, Shawnee? Mm-hmm. Yep. Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now social media is like the equivalent of that, I guess. Don said my uncle still has the Michael Jackson album when he's in the white suit. I know what album that is. That is he in the white suit with Smooth Criminal. Let me see how good I am. I think that's the Smooth Criminal album. I was gonna say Off the Wall, but I don't think it's Off the Wall. Ooh, I was wrong. Hold up. What? That was Thriller. My bad, yo. And it's so funny because the very first thought in my head was Thriller. You talking about the white suit? He had the black V-neck on. He had a black V-neck shirt under the suit, and he leaning like this. Yeah, that was the Thriller album. And matter of fact, he had a tiger on his knee, right? Yeah, that was Thriller. My bad. I'm a little rusty with my Mike Jackson. Shame on me. Shame on me. J. Carly said, hold up, Santa's not real? That is hilarious. Hmm. $3.25 and do nothing. Okay. I'm just realizing I don't have my timer set. Wait a minute. Because I wonder why it's not alerting. Oh, excuse me. J. Carter said, I still get presents from Santa at my mama's house. I'm going to go cry in the car now. I remember the first time that I questioned Santa. This is when my logical thinking started to kick in, and I was mad young. But you watching all the Santa movies and all of that, and you always seeing houses. He's supposed to come down the chimney, all of that stuff. So one year I asked, I was like, well, what happens if you live in the building? How you getting in your apartment? How you getting in your house? That was the end of Santa Claus. It was over. Damn, this is now I'm in between a rock and a hard place. I don't know what to do. Let me see. It depends on the time. Let me see. And should I do that or should I just chill? Because it always seems like I got so much to do, like home. And it's like you can't really split your time sometimes. You need to dedicate your time when you're going to focus on one thing, so you could do it thoroughly. And I don't like putting stuff off. I like to do it while I'm ready to do it. Like right now, I'm concerned about right now, like my kids they got allergies. So I can't, like I want to take them places, but the allergies. The longer that they spend time outside, the more the allergies tear them up. Right now, and it's not even high pollen season yet. Like it ain't even a lot of pollen, but for some reason they're very just agitated right now by the allergies right now. It's crazy. That is hilarious. Joshua said it was subliminally encouraging home ownership. That is hilarious. Yeah, she really does though. That lady, like she got her little chair right next to the cart. She's sitting there reading the book. That's what I'm talking about. Selling her ices. Cause there's a school right here too. Right there. But they didn't get out yet. So that already leads me to believe that she knows what the hell she's doing because she posted up right at the corner, right by the school, and she has no competition around here. It's just her. Yep. Gary said he still got the original Thriller album. Best track, Wanna Be Starting Something. I think my favorite track is still Rock With You. Paley is tell about Team Alliance. She hooked you up with the icy. I know, right? It's interesting because like I'm trying to think of times when I actually talk to people about, like trading and then kind of segue into what we do. It's usually like at Starbucks. That's what I find the most. Because I think it has to do with the environment there. People are already used to seeing you like working on a laptop or, like a lot of kids, college kids go there, they studying, they're doing work on a laptop. People like to go there like to talk about deals and discuss business and stuff. So it's that environment is appropriate for somebody to ask you what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I've noticed that it kind of falls in line better. Yeah, my environment is real slow now. It done slowed down. The calm before the storm. Jay Cardi said she couldn't pin down a favorite MJ song. Never heard one in life that I didn't love. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I even had liked some of his newer stuff. I see there's a lot of drive-bys over here. Somebody else just drove. They pulled up on it right there at the corner, getting the icy at the drive-through. Yeah, she doing her thing. It's funny. This is the type of stuff that I used to do when I was young. I used to see people when they used to like sell stuff. Like New York, the culture in New York for street vendors is heavy. So like if you are ever like in Harlem or different blocks throughout different boroughs, There's places like this in Queens, like Jamaica Avenue in Queens, Brooklyn. There's a bunch of places where on the street there are vendors, like people that sell stuff on the street, all type of stuff, anything you could think of. Definitely in Manhattan, definitely in Harlem. And I used to pay attention to the way that they would position, like where they're set up relative to how people are walking down the street. And I used to just watch that and observe. And I'm like, and I could guess where the person would stop based on how the vendor had their table set up and how the vendor looked and how they presented whatever they were selling. Like I would be able to pinpoint it. So like I've always just observed and studied, like everything, especially stuff like that. Like anything that was related to business and selling stuff, I always gravitated towards that. And this was from mad young, like from a very early age. So it's more natural to do. I think that's why it's natural for me to be able to do what we do with the market, because I've always been an observer. It's something that I've always just done organically, you know. Very interesting. Very interesting. Michael Jackson, the Moonwalker Classic, the movie. Remember the movie that he did? It was the short film with was it bad? It was bad. It was bad. People don't remember that. When he had released Bad, it was a short film that it was on TV. It was like on regular television. And in the very beginning of the short film, it was in black and white. And Wesley Snipes was one of the thugs. I remember that video. He was one of the thugs, and like Michael Jackson was supposed to be like rolling with them. It was like they had their little gang, their little clique or whatever. And their objective was, to go out and rob people. So the way that Bad came to be and the way that they like kind of played it into that scene or that little short film, it was like he was rolling with them. He said you would have been a terrible trader with the backtick dance. That's funny. Yeah, but so he was rolling with them, and they were supposed to be robbing, and he didn't want to rob the person they was robbing. So like they flipped on him. They got upset with him. And there was friction. And like they were like kind of pushing on him and like, whoa, why you didn't do it? This and that, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't built like that. He didn't want to do it. So then he started beefing with them, and then it switches to the video, to the Bad video. So like they in the subway, and all of a sudden now he got his black leather on, and he was like, you ain't bad, you ain't nothing, you ain't nothing. And then he turns into the outfit. Like, he transforms into Michael Jackson. And then the video begins. Then the actual music and stuff starts. But people don't even remember that. But there was a short film. If you look it up online, I'm pretty sure that it's on there too. But Michael Jackson stuff was just crazy. Like, just always very, very good cinematic. Smooth Criminal was good. Yeah, Smooth Criminal was when he was talking to Annie, right? Annie, are you okay? Yeah, that was Smooth Criminal. Michael Jackson, he was definitely the illest of all time. He was influenced by a lot. When you look at, like, there were black and white videos of different dances. And I'm going back like to Tag. What is the guy that I'm thinking of? I hate when I can't remember names. Very popular dude from like the 20s. from the 20s. He did have on eyeliner in that video. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Gary said, I could not take him seriously when he tried to be hard wearing eyeliner. Insane. Insane. Shoot, he would have fit right in today. Because these dudes today, I don't know what they be doing. I can't even call it. They be wearing dresses. I'm like, really? Come on, man. That's one thing I never got with either. When they like wearing your pants sagging off your ass, I never got with that. Never got with that. I still don't like that. I think it's stupid. That's one thing I'm definitely 100% in agreement with my pops about. He used to hate that. And I feel the same way, especially now, because now it's even more stupid. Now they wear their pants down, damn near to like the back of their knees, with a belt on. You have a belt on and it's underneath your ass. I'm confused. A little confused. Why you got the belt? What is the belt for? Just stupidity, man. Just stupid. Stupid. That 340, I missed that. What that 340 look like just now? I didn't catch it. 340, didn't catch that one. Yeah, exactly. Jermaine said they just don't know where that came from. No, they don't. Even if you tell them, you're like, all right, well, that's just what we do. I'm like, okay. Like, that came from prison life, bro. Gary said, then they try to run. Really? Right, where the hell you running? You not running nowhere. You falling. You tripping. Right, don't do nothing crazy and where it requires running. Yep, I do not get that. Crazy. Got the belt on. Like, why? What do you got the belt on for? You don't need the belt. Joshua said, it's impractical too. Like they always say, dudes that sag are first to lag. I agree. Julian says, run into the belt store. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. The stuff people do, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's so funny because, like, in New York, you can just sit anywhere in New York, like in the car, and just watch. And you see all type of stuff that goes on. Because it's such a mix. It's such a mixture, like, of different people and cultures. People be doing all type of shit. Like stuff that you just would never think of. Like you be just looking like, why are they doing that? What's that? Just be bugging out. Okay, the 340 was priced out. All right, cool. All right, cool. That'll work. All right. There was one more thing I needed to do. What time is it? 3:45? All right. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. Gotta go pick these kids up. figure out what we're gonna have for dinner, and I almost want to go. I almost want to take them out, but like I said, they got allergies. Like, so the longer they stay out, it's kind of not that good for them, you know. But they would love going out. They would love that. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. All right, y'all. I see y'all in training. Deuces.